I didn't even want the house. It was cheap, sure, suspiciously cheap. But I figured that was just a market dipping in a busted little Midwest town nobody cares about. The place had good bones, hardwood floors, wide windows, a decent backyard. Quiet street, no traffic, no kids screaming. Too quiet, maybe, but I needed quiet. After the divorce, after the layoffs, after everything fell apart, I needed somewhere that didn't ask questions. The attic wasn't mentioned in the listing. I found it by accident. Second night there, I was carrying boxes down the hallway when my shoulder brushed against something hanging from the ceiling, a thin string. I looked up, small square panel, almost blended into the paint, pull string swaying slightly. Even though there was no air moving, I stood there longer than I should have, just staring. You ever get that feeling where something feels aware of you before you're aware of it? I shook it off. Probably just storage space. Old houses have weird crawl areas all the time. I didn't pull it that night. I should have. The first sound came 3 nights later. 2:17 a.m. I know because I checked the clock. It was a soft thud. Not loud. Just enough to snap me out of sleep. I held still, listening. Old house, I told myself. Wood expands. Pipe settle. Then it came again. Slow drag. Like something heavy being pulled across a wooden floor. Directly above my bedroom. My heart started doing that slow, uneven thump. The kind where it's not panic yet. Just alert. I lay there for maybe 10 minutes. Nothing else happened. Eventually I fell back asleep. But something about that drag stuck in my head. It didn't sound random. It sounded deliberate. The next night it happened again. Same time. 2:17. Drag. Pause. 3 taps. Tap, tap, tap. Evenly spaced. Not frantic. Not animal-like. Measured. Like knocking. I sat up in bed. You gotta be kidding me. I muttered. Raccoons, maybe. Squirrels. I grabbed my phone and recorded audio. Next morning, I played it back. The dragging was clear, but underneath it, breathing. Faint. Slow. And way too steady. By the 4th night, the dragging turned into pacing, slow footsteps, heel to toe, back and forth, across the attic floor. Each step slightly too heavy to be a small animal. Each step directly mirroring the length of my room, back and forth, like something walking the perimeter of a cage. My cage. I didn't sleep that night. Around 3 a.m., the pacing stopped, and I swear to God, I heard it shift its weight. Right above my bed. Then, a single, slow knock, directly above my head. Not tapping, not scratching. A knock, like it knew exactly where I was lying. Next morning, I finally pulled the string. The attic ladder unfolded with a dry wooden groan. Dust fell into my face. The air coming down felt wrong. Not musty, not stale. Warm, like breath from an open mouth. I climbed halfway up. Shine my flashlight around. Old insulation. Empty boxes. Exposed beams. Nothing moving. Nothing alive. But in the far corner, the insulation was flattened. Long, narrow indentation. Like someone had been lying there, facing the attic entrance. Facing down. Watching. My stomach tightened. I climbed down slowly and shut the panel. I didn't tell anyone. Because what was I supposed to say? Hey! I think something's living in my attic and lying in the insulation like it's tanning. They'd think I was cracking. Maybe I was. The sleepwalking started after that. I didn't know at first. I just woke up exhausted, like I'd run miles. Then one morning, I found dirt on my feet. Tiny fiberglass cuts across my palms, and the attic panel slightly open. Just a crack. I checked my phone camera setup that I pointed at the hallway. 2:16 a.m. I walked out of my bedroom, eyes open, face blank, climbed the attic ladder, out of frame. At 2:52 a.m., I came back down, closed the panel, went to bed. I don't remember any of it, but here's the part that makes my hands shake. At 2:40 a.m., while I was supposedly still up there, the hallway camera caught movement. Behind the attic ladder, a tall silhouette, standing upright, waiting. It didn't climb down. It didn't move toward the camera. It just stood there, like it was making room for me. That's when I stopped thinking it was an animal, Animals don't coordinate. Animals don't wait. Animals don't breathe in rhythm with you. Because now, at night, when I lie in bed, I can hear it sinking. My inhale. Half second later, it's inhale. My exhale. Half second later, it's exhale. Like it's practicing. Like it's rehearsing being me. I tried sealing the attic shut. Nailed the panel closed. Screwed boards over it. That night, at 2:17 a.m., the knocking came back. But this time, it wasn't above me. It was beside me, inside the walls. Slow, traveling, from the ceiling, down the drywall, to the headboard. 3 knocks, right next to my ear. Tap, tap, tap. You closed it, a voice whispered. It wasn't loud. It wasn't monstrous. It sounded almost hurt. You weren't supposed to close it. I froze. My body refused to move. You go up, it continued softly. I come down. That's when I understood. The sleepwalking wasn't random. It was a trade. Every night I went up there, something came down. And I don't know how many nights that's already happened. The next morning, I checked the mirror. I looked the same, mostly, but my eyes felt different. Less tired, clearer, sharper. My posture felt straighter. My thoughts quieter. Like something rough inside me had been sanded smooth. And that scared me more than the knocking. Because what if it wasn't hurting me? What if it was fixing me? That night, I forced myself to stay awake. Coffee, lights on, TV blaring. 2:16, silence. 2:17, nothing. 2:18, still nothing. I almost felt relieved. Then the power went out. Total darkness. And from directly above me, I heard it land. Not step, land. Heavy, like it had jumped down from height. And for the first time, I heard it move inside the house. Not in the attic, not in the walls, on the floor, walking, slow, measured, toward the living room, toward me. I couldn't see it, but I could feel the weight of each step in floorboards. Closer, closer. Then it stopped, right behind me, warm breath against the back of my neck, and in a voice that sounded almost exactly like mine. You're almost ready. I didn't grow up scared of the dark. I grew up scared of what people do in it. My dad used to say, if something's making noise in the house, it's either old wood or your imagination. Turns out, he was wrong about both. I bought the house in late October because it was dirt cheap and I didn't ask enough questions. The seller wanted it gone fast. No negotiations. No open house. Just sign and take it. The attic wasn't mentioned in the listing. Not once. The house was a 2-story colonial with narrow hallways and ceilings that felt slightly too low. The first night I stayed there, I walked around mapping out every creak in the floor, learning the rhythm of it. Houses talk, but they usually repeat themselves. This one didn't. At around 1:53 a.m., I heard something that didn't belong. A slow scrape, like wood sliding across wood, directly above my bedroom. I stared at the ceiling, barely breathing. It scraped again, longer this time, like something adjusting its weight. I told myself it was rodents, but rodents don't drag something heavy. Rodents don't pause after they move. Whatever was up there paused, like it was listening for me. The next morning, I searched for attic access. There wasn't one. No pull string in the hallway. No hatch in the closet. No visible panel, which didn't make sense. Every house like this has an attic entry. I checked the blueprints online. According to county records, there was definitely attic space, but there was no way up. That's when the sound happened again, and it wasn't night. It was 11:42 a.m., broad daylight, a single knock, directly above the living room. One clean, intentional knock, not settling wood, not pipes, a knock. I stood in the middle of the room staring at the ceiling. You got about 5 seconds to show yourself. I muttered, mostly to calm myself down. Nothing happened, but I had this feeling. Not that something was hiding, that something was waiting. 3 nights later, I woke up to something different. It wasn't scraping. It wasn't knocking. It was walking. Heel, toe, measured, slow, Back and forth across the length of my seat, I saw the outline. The drywall above my bed dipped slightly. At first, I thought it was my eyes playing tricks on me. Then it pushed down harder. 5 separate points pressing into the ceiling. Fingers spreading, testing the barrier between us. I couldn't move. The hand shape slid slowly across the ceiling, following the outline of my body. When I rolled off the bed, it followed. When I froze, it froze. Then it tapped 3 times, right above where my head had been. Tap, tap, tap. The next morning, there was a door. I swear to you, there was not a door there before. End of the upstairs hallway, between the bathroom and the guest room. Small wooden door. Paint slightly darker than the surrounding wall. No knob, just a vertical seam. I stood there for a long time staring at it, trying to convince myself it had always been there. Maybe I missed it. Maybe stress makes you blind. But the hallway felt different. Shorter, like something had been rearranged overnight. The air felt warmer near the door. Not hot, just occupied. That night, the footsteps didn't start at 2:03. They started at 1:59, like it was getting impatient. They paced faster, not running, but quicker. And every time they reached the spot above the new door, they stopped. I didn't sleep. At 2:03 exactly, the footsteps ended, and I heard something else. A soft click from the hallway. I didn't want to check, but I did, because fear gets worse when you don't look. The hallway light was on. I know I turned it off. The small wooden door was slightly open, just a crack, and warm air poured out of it, smelling faintly metallic, like pennies or blood. I stepped closer. The crack widened slowly. On its own, no hinges creaking, just opening. Inside was darkness, not attic insulation, not wooden beams. Darkness that felt thick, like it had depth, like it went somewhere. And from inside I heard it, my own voice, whispering. Finally, I slammed it shut. The house shook, not violently, but like it exhaled in disappointment. The footsteps above me stopped completely after that. No pacing, no dragging, nothing, just silence. And that silence was worse, because the presence didn't feel gone. It felt relocated. That night, I dreamed I was standing in the attic, except it wasn't an attic. It was a long, narrow hallway, identical to mine, but stretched, distorted, doors lining both sides. Hundreds of them. And at the end of the hallway, I saw myself, standing still, watching me, not smiling, not angry, just patient. When I woke up, my bedroom door was open, and I always close it. The next day, things fell off in small ways. The kitchen cabinets were rearranged. My toothbrush was wet. The thermostat set to a temperature I don't use. Tiny adjustments, like someone was trying to learn my habits, refine them. By the 3rd night after the door appeared, I didn't hear footsteps anymore. I heard movement inside the walls, traveling downward, from ceiling to upper wall to mid wall, like something descending through the house structure, slowly, purposefully. At 2:03 a.m., it stopped right behind my headboard. And then, knock, 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 not from above, from inside the wall, directly inches from my skull. You don't need the attic, it whispered. You're the attic. I stopped going upstairs after that, slept on the couch, but the house adjusted. The knocking followed me, always 2:03, always 3 knocks, always closer, until one night, it didn't knock. It breathed, right beside my ear, and I felt the couch cushion sink slightly, like someone sat down next to me. The breath was warm, familiar, exactly my rhythm. You go up, it murmured. I come down. That's when I understood. The attic wasn't above the house. It was layered over it, like a copy. And every night at 2:03, the layers shift, and something trades places. I don't know how many times it's already happened. I don't know which version of me is writing this. But tonight, the small door at the end of the hallway is wide open, and I can hear footsteps. Not above me, behind me, slow, measured, matching my stride perfectly. I never believed in haunted houses. I believed in bad insulation, old pipes, raccoons, and crawl spaces. Every sound has a reason. Every shadow has a source. That's what I kept telling myself after I moved into the old two-story place on Redwood Drive. The house wasn't falling apart, but it had history carved into it. Floors that creaked even when you stepped carefully. Walls that ticked at night, like they were cooling off from something that burned inside them. And then there was the attic. I didn't even notice the attic door during the showing. It blended into the hallway's ceiling, like it didn't want to be found. Small square panel, pull string hanging down. The realtor mentioned it casually. Storage space up there. She didn't look up when she said it. That should have been my first warning. The first week, everything felt normal. Then the scratching started. It wasn't constant. It would happen right as I was drifting off to sleep. A slow drag across wood. Then 3 short taps, like something pacing. I lay there the first night telling myself it was squirrels. Second night, same thing. Scratch, scratch, tap, tap, tap. But this time it moved. From one end of the ceiling to directly above my bed. And stopped. I stared at the ceiling in the dark. The house felt like it was holding its breath. Then something heavy shifted up there. Not small, not light, heavy, like a person adjusting their weight. I didn't check it the next day. I avoided looking at the pull string in the hallway, because once you look at it, you have to decide. And I wasn't ready to decide. By the 4th night, it wasn't just scratching. It was walking, slow, deliberate footsteps, back and forth, always between 2:12 a.m. and 3 a.m., like I had a schedule. I tried earplugs. Didn't help, because it wasn't just noise. It was pressure. You could feel it in the air, like the ceiling was lower when it moved, like something up there was aware of me. One night, I finally snapped. I grabbed a flashlight and a baseball bat and pulled down the attic ladder. Dust rained down. The air that came from above smelled wrong. Not moldy, not stale, just warm, like breath. I climbed halfway up and shined the light around. Boxes from previous owners. Old Christmas away. My face blank. My posture stiff. I unlocked the front door. Opened it. Stood there for exactly 20 seconds. Then shut it. Went back to bed. I don't remember any of that. But here's the part that made my chest tighten. When I opened the door, the camera caught something behind me. In the hallway. Tall. Head slightly bent to avoid the ceiling. Standing directly behind me. And when I stepped forward, it didn't follow. It stayed inside. After that, the attic sounds changed. They weren't random anymore. They reacted. If I turned on the TV late, it paced faster. If I tried to leave lights on overnight, the bulbs would burn out. Every time I tried to ignore it, it got louder. One night, I heard whispering, not from above, from inside the walls. Soft, close to my ear. You shouldn't have looked. I froze. The voice wasn't deep or growling. It sounded calm, almost disappointed. Sleep became impossible, because every time I drifted off, I dreamed of the attic. Except in the dream, I wasn't in my body. I was up there, curled into the insulation, watching myself sleep through the crack in the floorboards, feeling irritated, hungry, waiting for the right time. When I woke up from those dreams, my hands would be dirty, fiberglass stuck to my palms. One night around 2:15 a.m., the footsteps stopped completely. Total silence. And that scared me more than the noise. I lay there staring at the ceiling, waiting. Then something pressed down from above. Hard. The drywall dipped right above my face, slowly forming the outline of a hand. 5 fingers. Stretching. Pushing. Testing the barrier between us. I couldn't breathe. The hand dragged across the ceiling, following me as I slid off the bed. It stopped when I stopped, moved when I moved. Then it tapped 3 times, right where my head had been. The next morning, I found footprints in the attic insulation. Bare, human, too long to be mine, and leading from the far corner to directly above my bedroom, and back, over and over, like pacing, like thinking, like deciding. That night, I didn't sleep in the bedroom. I slept on the couch downstairs. Around 2:30 a.m., I heard it. Not above me this time, but directly over the living room. It had moved. It wasn't tied to the bedroom. It was tied to me. The footsteps stopped. Then I heard the attic ladder creak, slowly unfolding on its own, with scraping against wood, step by step, descending into the dark hallway. I couldn't see it from the couch, but I could hear it, each rung lowering, one by one, until it touched the floor. Silence, then footsteps, not above, inside the house, soft, measured, walking toward the living room. I grabbed my phone and turned on the flashlight. Nothing there, the hallway empty, the attic ladder fully extended, waiting. Then I felt it, behind me, breath, warm, close to my ear. You were easier when you didn't know. I spun around. Nothing, but the couch cushion behind me was indented, like someone had just been sitting there, watching. The worst part isn't the sounds anymore. It's the realization. The thing in the attic isn't trying to scare me. It's studying me, learning my sleep cycles, my routines, my fears. And every night, the footsteps sound more confident, less cautious, like it's getting comfortable, like it's not hiding anymore. Last night, I didn't hear it above me. I heard it beside me, breathing, in the dark. And when I finally forced myself to look, I saw the attic panel in my bedroom ceiling, slightly open, even though I nailed it shut.